You won't believe what went down in a courtroom in Savannah, Georgia, a city that looks polished but hides its own shadows. Picture this: a respected judge, quiet but fierce, gets slapped right in the middle of her courtroom. Yeah, you heard that right, slapped by a cop. Not just any cop, but one known for pushing boundaries. And no, this wasn't some random outburst. It was a moment that set off a wildfire no one saw coming. Judge Mariana Collins walked into that courthouse like she always did, calm, composed, silver hair pulled back, eyes sharp as ever. She had that quiet power you just don't mess with. But that morning, something felt off. The air was thick with tension, and the clerk's forced smile didn't help. Officer Darren Miles was already inside, standing a little too confidently, a man everyone in law enforcement knew. And not for the right reasons. Then, in a blink, the room froze. An open-handed slap landed on Judge Collins' cheek. The sound echoed louder than the murmurs in the room. Paper stopped fluttering, a coffee cup nearly slipped from someone's hand, and even the buzzing fluorescent lights seemed to pause. But here's the thing: she didn't flinch, didn't wipe her cheek. She just locked eyes with Darren Miles and let the silence stretch long enough to choke the whole courtroom. "What did you just do?" Her voice cut through the stunned air, calm but with a sharpness that could cut glass. Miles stammered, tried to justify it, pointing at the nervous teenage defendant, accused of vandalism. "He's a thug," Miles said. "Yeah." That excuse was about as good as a wet paper towel. Mariana slammed the gavel twice, making sure everyone heard. You do not get to assault a sitting judge and then blame it on a kid. The courtroom clerk, almost trembling, officially recorded Miles admitting to the assault. That moment, it was the start of a reckoning. But here's where it gets interesting. Miles thought this was just a slap, and maybe a slap on the wrist. He was wrong. The judge didn't just detain him in the courtroom. She turned the whole system upside down. Enter Agent Monica Ruiz from Internal Affairs, no nonsense and sharp-eyed, and her partner, Luis Garcia, who brought a whole new angle to this unfolding drama. They uncovered dozens of complaints, 17 just against Miles alone, with many swept under the rug by prosecutors too cozy with the cops, missing evidence, ignored reports. It was a web of corruption tangled deep in the department and the courts. The walls started closing in. People tried to discredit Judge Collins, calling her emotionally compromised, trying to push her out. But Mariana was ready. She took the fight public, demanding transparency, inviting the press, shining a light on the dirty deals between police unions and the judicial fundraisers. The courtroom became a battleground, not just for one slap, but for decades of unchecked power. Weeks later, the fallout shook Savannah. A statewide probe launched. Hundreds of past cases reopened. The police department under federal watch. But for Mariana, it wasn't just justice served cold. It was a personal battle scar she wore with quiet pride. The red mark on her cheek faded, but never disappeared. A reminder that sometimes a single act of courage can echo louder than years of silence. And just when you think the story's over, here's the kicker: as Mariana sat alone in her chambers, her phone buzzed with a voicemail from a judge she thought she could trust, warning her that powerful forces were lining up against her, ready to bury her reputation and derail the entire case. But instead of backing down, Mariana pulled out a binder, her secret weapon, a collection of truths no one wanted exposed. So here's the question for you: was that slap just a mistake? Or was it the spark that lit a fire under a corrupt system? Was justice served? Or did the real battle only just begin? Drop your thoughts below. Where do you stand on justice, power, and accountability in this story? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you want more stories that break the silence and echo through generations. Because sometimes, justice doesn't whisper, it roars. You know what I mean.